I will admit that I have never fully appreciated the PlayStation. And I say that despite having about 90 games for the PlayStation, a few of which I have actually played. One of these days I will. But if you look at something like The Firemen 2, a sequel to The Firemen for the Super Famicom, I'm sure it's a fine game. Oh, look at there. There's the Obi. This came with a bunch of, virtually all CD games. All CD-based games, as far as I know, from the PlayStation to the Dreamcast, came with these Obi, and they can make a game very expensive depending on how rare the game actually is. Love the art on the CDs, by the way. Having looked at the Neo Geo CD and how, I like the style. I like the style of the art on the Neo Geo CD games, but when it's just the same thing over and over again, I just can't. Wild Arms, I never actually figured out how to properly play this game. Played it a little bit, I thought it was fine. Valkyrie Profile, one of those games, and the thing about the PlayStation is that the Japanese versions of a lot of these games are significantly cheaper than their American versions. Valkyrie Profile is like a $5 game in Japan. I believe it's way more expensive in English because a lot of these RPGs are sought after because they have legacies behind them, because people actually want to play these games and they just never received beautiful art. Look at that. Oh my God. Valkyrie Profile came out for there was another one. There was a sequel that came out for the PlayStation 2, if I'm remembering correctly. Ray Storm. That's the other thing that I think is underappreciated about the PlayStation, is that there are a lot of scrolling shooters for this system, and most of them are less than $50. Oh, the red and the black. That's it. This is my color combination of all time. Red and black, and I've got the little thing here. Ray Storm is like another $5 game. I don't have any very expensive PlayStation games. There might be one that we'll come across in either this video or another one. Xenogears, another cheap Japanese game. I wouldn't pay over $5 for this. There's probably, you probably get one in better condition for maybe 10 tops. Oh, yes, only knows. God only knows. Xenogears. I haven't actually played Xenogears yet, but what was I thinking of? Oh, yeah, Xenosaga. What a weird game Xenosaga was. Is this the one? Yeah. Can someone please tell me what is going on with this disc? Is this disc rot? Oh, wait, hold up. Are those pinholes? Hold on. This, I think, is really why I'm making these videos, is because I want to see what the heck is going on with my CDs. And I'm like 99% sure my Xenogears is suffering from disc rot. But let's look at some other games. Biohazard 2, the original Japanese copy. I'm pretty sure this is the original one. Not that I would know. Let's see. Here's the Leon disc. See, and it's weird. It seems to be like affecting discs at different times. Because when did Xenogears come out? Let's check the copyright date here. 1998. Resident Evil 2 couldn't have been that far behind. It would have been like 98 or 99. I can't see a copyright date on here, and the release date is escaping me. But it just seems pretty random. It probably has something to do with a combination of what's going on there? It's not the humidity here, although it's probably the humidity in Japan that's going to be destroying a lot of these games. Here's Einhanda. I love there's a lot of weird, oh shit. Oh, it's happening. Oh my God. That's a lot of those specs are just the dust. That's just the dust that's going to accumulate. But look at that fogginess. And it seems pretty consistent. Is it the glue that's holding the plastic to the metal, where the laser and the ones and the zeros are actually etched in? Let's see, let's check Rockman X5. How's that looking? Same thing, and it's the same pattern. You get a foggy ring around the outer edges and then the ring in the center. So what's going on? I hope these are still playable. I'm going to need to, maybe that's what I'm going to have to do today, is just test out my PlayStation to make sure some of these things still actually work. I actually had a PlayStation console die on me the other day. I'm talking one of the tanks, one of the original ones. My PS1, the Slim, perhaps as it's better known, still works fine. Although I think the laser's getting a little bit creaky. That's what's going to happen to all these CD-based systems. The lasers are going bad. The discs are going bad. It's going to be those cartridge-based consoles that stick around. This one looks better, but you can kind of see a little bit of the clouding there. Rockman X6. I love the X games. Not the extreme games. I'm talking about the Rockman X games. Alive, this is one of the few games that I've actually put some time in. There were actually a lot of PlayStation FMV games that came out in Japan. Let me see if I can show you some of the screenshots here because it won't show it on the back. But you are like, in this game, you're like a lady who's being like chased down by some secret organization. I can't remember exactly why, but you're like basically just, it's like a movie that you can control. It's really weird. It's a cool game. But unless you can speak Japanese, you're going to have a hell of a time playing it. I can at least say that much because there is no English in this game. But it's pretty cheap. It's not none of these games are expensive. But Alive is fairly fun. Then here is, yes, Suikoden, perhaps better known as Gensou Suikoden. This is like a $3 game in Japan. I know the English copy is like, what, $200 now, especially Suikoden 2. But just learn Japanese and save yourself. Yeah. Just spend tens of thousands of hours of your life learning Japanese so you can save $197 on Suikoden. Speaking of which, here is Suikoden 2. This is perhaps the better known Suikoden. I suppose I hear some people say that they like Suikoden, but I think Suikoden 2 is, it's looking all right. I think Suikoden 2 is, where the magic happens. And then, didn't like 3 come out for the PlayStation? Like 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 for the PlayStation 2? And I don't think those are held in high regard as Suikoden 1 and 2. So then we get Klonoa, Kaze no Kuranoa, the door to Phantomil. Klonoa has a fairly, well, I don't want to say long history to it, because I know games came out for the PlayStation, probably the PlayStation 2, and I think there's one on the Wii that is well regarded, but look, it's a little cutesy. Not quite as, I think I preferred Sly Cooper a little bit more. I like sort of action games where you're like trying to steal stuff. But that's a very cute disc. Let's just double check and make sure. A little scratches here and there, but look, they're not in perfect condition. And the great thing about a lot of these PlayStation games is you can still find these at certain Japanese retailers. Actually, we'll get to some of the games that I first bought in Japan. That actually, I think, will be, that'll be in the next video. It's not in this stack here. But here's Final Fantasy Tactics. I remember these were going for a lot back in the day. Tactics, this was probably Ogre Battle might have been my first actual tactics game, like Ogre Battle 64, but I love Final Fantasy Tactics for the Game Boy Advance. That was a hell of a game. Put probably 100 hours into that. Carnage Heart by Art Dink, another cheap game, like literally $1. Like I'd say probably like what? 90% of PlayStation games are probably less than $5. And Carnage Heart is one of those games. Oh, it's got all the little cool inserts here. And here is the beautiful disc. You remember that Rugrats episode where they like try and take, Chucky's dad's CD? That's, I swear, whenever I see a CD, that's the thing that is stuck in my brain, is that episode of Rugrats. And perhaps I'm not crazy when I think about that. Oh, the best version? I don't have the real version of Rockman Dash. It's not that big of a deal. To some people, it matters to have, the original art when it's, takes up the full panel of the manual. Not the best. The best for family, Rockman Dash. I guess, Rockman Legends, that's what it's called, right? Rockman Legends in English. I played this for the N64 back when I was a kid. Loved it. It's got the, what is that thing? What would you call it? The future past, where it is like that you find an ancient civilization that is more advanced than the current civilization. Spoiler alert, but that's what's in Rockman Dash. And that's, I think, what really does it for me, aside from having some really cool gameplay. Let's finish off. Speaking of Rockman, let's talk about Rockman 8. I believe Rockman 1 through 7 were ported to the PlayStation. 1 through 6 definitely were, if I'm remembering correctly. And it's got all of the latest accoutrement. I love the PlayStation sprites. I know the Saturn, I think, is perhaps more renowned for its sprites than the PlayStation, but I think the PlayStation could do a lot. It could do a lot, and especially when you go to a game like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, you're gonna have a much better time playing it on the PlayStation than on the Sega Saturn. Just to be completely honest, I love the Sega Saturn, but I did have a hard time, especially when you get to like the 3D areas, like the 3D books. That's maybe more relevant if I was able to show you Symphony of the Night. But yeah, the 3D books really slowed down the Sega Saturn. Okay, so this is actually just a third of the PlayStation games that I have. I'm going to show you a couple more stacks of games in future videos. I hope to see you there. Meanwhile, if you'd like to support the channel, you can head over to patreon.com/jcontra, where you will get exclusive access to game hunting videos in Japan, stuff I do not publish to this channel, but I send out to my patrons, patreon.com/jcontra. I have been your man out of Japan, Jay Contra. Thanks for watching, and mahalo.